Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What is up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
We are back for another episode of the Know Before You Go Travel Show, and I know I say it every single time, we have a special episode, but this episode really is special. This is unlike anything we've done before.
Yep, first time doing it.
First time doing it. We're testing a new technology, and I think this is going to be a great episode. We're going to talk a little Disney, but we have our partner agent that is based out of Charlotte who is an absolute Disney expert. No one knows Disney. Out of all the people that we know, no one knows it better than Brian Tenholder.
That's right. Hey, Brian.
Hey, everybody.
And we've got Brian here on the line, and this is going to be a great episode because we've been wanting to cover Disney for a long time.
Yes.
But we wanted to wait until we can get time on Brian's calendar because he's such an expert and so knowledgeable, not only like on what's going on today with Disney, but just the history of Disney as well. And Brian's one of our agents, and he is an absolute rock star. He's a partner agent of ours. We're going to share his contact information throughout the show, so if you are interested in Disney or want more information from Brian, we're going to be able to hook you guys up directly with him.
Yeah, and I know Disney, but not anything close to what Brian knows it. So,
and that's what we do on the show. We bring the best of the best.
That's right.
If we don't know it as good as someone else, we're going to try to get that person on.
Yep.
So, but anyways, thank you guys for listening to the show. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the podcast. It's been absolutely blowing up, and it's so much fun hearing from you guys through our Instagram, through Facebook, through email. It's really humbling, and it's really cool, and it's fun to just interact with all of our listeners. So we love the love that you guys are showing, and we're really excited about this episode. So let's jump right into Disney.
Yep.
You and I went not too long ago, and I hadn't been since I was a kid.
Well, it's been like 4.5 years ago.
Yeah, but I hadn't been since I was a kid, and I was a little skeptical.
Same
so I was
here.
like, we haven't been somewhere for a kid, but my favorite thing was Epcot, and I don't want to steal Brian's thunder here, but Epcot was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's still lots of fun to be had for adults.
Yeah, and what you don't want to do is try to have a drink at every single location around the world.
Like
they got
you
those
did?
Countries. I tried, yeah. By the time you get to Canada, you're just completely gassed. There's no way.
Yeah.
So if anyone's ever done that, send us an email, I'll let you know. That's...
Brian, have you been able to do that?
I've done my fair share of drinking around the world there, and
That's good.
I definitely have a soft spot for Epcot too. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's when I was a kid going there, and it was like that's what I thought the future was going to look like. But to me, Epcot's got a real nice spot in my heart. I love going back there, and I think it's the nostalgia of going back with my brother and my parents when I was a kid. I truly enjoyed Epcot, and I still like going there now with the kids. Even though it's not everybody's favorite park now, I still enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun visiting the countries. One thing I like to do with my kids when we're visiting the countries is go and get a piece of candy from each of the different countries, because it's candy you can't get elsewhere here in the States. But the kids can try like a little milk candy from Japan, or something weird from Morocco, or things like that. So that's a fun little thing we like to do when we're there in Epcot.
That's a great tip. Yeah.
That is a know before you go tip. That is quality.
I didn't even think about that.
And mom and dad can grab a beverage.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. And one thing I do remember from when we went to Epcot, like in the different countries, they actually had people from those countries that were working.
Right.
Yeah. Brian, do you have any insight on that? Because that was fascinating to us because their accents were so authentic. They really, like when you go to France, for instance,
it was French people.
They barely speak English, and
they speak English.
But I'm just saying, it's a second language to them. You're not getting like an unnatural experience. It was cool, and then they actually had like the food and everything was super authentic. So we just got back from France, so we know it's super authentic. So
that's correct. I mean, they do hire people from those countries to come in for seasons and work their host countries, and so it's really neat to see those people. You can interact with them, talk to them, ask them questions, and they're happy to answer those questions too.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump into some of the questions here. We're going to do a little rapid fire question with Brian. So,
all right, let's go.
One thing I want to know from Brian's perspective here, Brian, what is, in your opinion, what's the best kept or secret or the most unknown, maybe the best time to travel? Let's just start with that. Like if someone's booking, 'cause I think we get a lot of listeners here, and they're always saying, "Oh, I wonder what the best time of year to travel is." What would you say traveling to Disney? What would you say booking best time of year?
Well, I get this question all the time from clients, and there's not a straight answer, but the real answer is there used to be a time where Disney had some really down weeks, right after the holidays, early November, late January. Those were really dead times for Disney. And what they did is they got smart and they created marathon weekends. So now all of a sudden you've got 40 to 50,000 people running a race and their families coming in town, utilizing Disney and enjoying their time there, which used to be a dead time, but now it's a busy time for them. So there's not a extremely empty park time now like there used to be. But the real answer is when everybody else is in school, that's the best time to go to Disney. So right after school starts and early September, mid-September is a really good time to go. And then also in January, February, and early March as well, but avoiding the holiday weekends is a good time to go.
Yeah.
The Florida residents go on the weekends normally. So if you can go during the weekdays to the parks, that's a better time to go as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yes, very good.
We went during the last time we went. It was in January, right?
It was in January. Yep.
Yeah. And it was. I remember it wasn't that busy. It wasn't too bad.
That busy.
It lines up, at the beginning of the semester, or kids were probably just now had gotten back to schools because it was like late January. The weather was good too.
I was going to say one of the great things about going during some of those times is it might not be as hot.
Yeah,
so.
It definitely wasn't as hot. And then one thing I noticed too, and like all the moms and stuff, everyone wears like gym clothes. Like you don't want to walk around the parks in like jeans, and like everyone was wearing gym clothes. Like remember all the it was crazy, right, Brian? I mean, you probably see that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And what our family likes to do is we dress in colors. So one day we'll wear all green, the next day we'll wear all blue. That way it's a lot easier to identify, oh, there's our child over there, or where's mom? She's over there. So you can identify by colors. So we wear the same colors each day.
That's
great idea.
That's really smart because there's so many people everywhere. Like I remember I lost you a couple times when we went, babe. I mean, you would like go up to the bathroom, and then I'm like, I'm not going to see you for like 10 minutes.
Or I went on to the next country at Epcot.
Yeah, you passed me in Epcot. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to hang out here in Italy, and she's moving on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is good stuff. I wanted to ask you too because I think we get this question a lot. I know Janet does too, and I'm curious your perspective on it. What the dining plans, in your opinion, are they worth it? I mean, I think that's one of the most common questions that we get. I'm sure you get that from your clients all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And the right answer from my perspective is it depends on your family if the dining plan is right for you. If you're the kind of family that's going to eat oatmeal in the room and then just kind of snack through the day, and then maybe eat a big dinner at night, it be better for you because you're not taking advantage of what the dining plan can offer. Now, if you're going to have at least one sit-down meal a day and you like to sit down as a family and enjoy at least one meal a day, then the dining plan is going to make sense. You're going to save money doing it that way. There's 3 different dining plans as well for Disney. So you've got the quick service dining, you got the regular dining plan, and then you got the deluxe dining plan. So depending on the clients and how many reservations they want to make in advance and how many sit-down meals, character meals, shows they want to do, or dinner shows they want to do, then I can recommend the right dining plan for that family.
Excellent. Yeah. And what are your thoughts on that? I like his perspective on that because it all depends on what kind of family you are.
Yeah, it really does, and your eating habits. And I mean, we did not do the dining plan when we went because I was like, oh, we'll probably just eat breakfast in the room and then just get like little snacks or small meals throughout the day. But that was a mistake for us. We should have gotten it.
Yeah, I think we would have done better off with it.
Oh, yeah.
And,
it's also nice to not think about the bill later too.
Yeah, it makes it kind of like a more all-inclusive experience.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's what we promote. I mean, like there's something to, and I always say it on all these podcasts, if you can get that all-inclusive experience, there's something to not pulling your wallet out.
Yep,
like there's just
then it's already done.
It's a peace of mind.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of included on the front end, and it's done.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice.
So it's very interesting on the dining plans. What's the because this question also comes a lot when people talk about dining plans as well as the properties, right? Right, babe?
Yeah.
You get this question too on
Sure.
The
properties. Do you stay on property or
yeah.
off property? So I'm curious both of yours perspectives on that.
Brian, you go first.
Okay, so I tell clients there are a lot of benefits of staying on Disney property, and those benefits start with the extra magic hours. And if you can take advantage of those extra magic hours, please do so. You can get a ton done in those extra magic hours because only the guests of Walt Disney World properties are allowed to be in the park at that time. And so the parks are not as crowded and you can get a lot done in that hour or 2 hours, whatever it may be. That's the biggest benefit. The next benefit is you have access to the dining plan. If you're not a guest of Disney property, you don't have access to the dining plan.
Yep.
You also have access to Disney's Magical Express, which is the round trip transportation from the Orlando International Airport to the resort and back. And that's complimentary with any Disney World package.
And that's the bus you see, right? That's like the fancy buses with the paintings on the outside. It kind of looks like they paint it up where it looks fun, right?
Yeah.
That's correct. Right. The other benefit is magic bands. You get magic bands when you stay on Disney property, and those magic bands include your park tickets. They include your dining plan. They include your room key. And they're also, they're fun. The kids like them. You can choose your design before you go, and they'll mail the magic bands directly to your home before you go.
Yep.
Very cool.
Another huge advantage is staying on Disney property. You have access to dining reservations. You have access to dining reservations 180 days in advance, plus the duration of your stay versus just 180 days. And the other thing is you have access to fast passes 60 days in advance of your stay, plus the duration of your stay, versus 30 days. So if you're staying on Disney property, getting fast passes 60 days in advance versus anybody who's not staying on Disney property at 30 days, that is a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
it makes a difference.
And remind me, too, because, there might be some listeners out there that have never been to Disney, and I need to be reminded of this, and I know you and Janet are the experts here. The Fast Pass, that is where you pick specific rides that you want to kind of cut to the front of the line in, right? Is that how that works?
That's right. So the Fast Pass Plus system is you can choose 3 advanced Fast Passes per person to get at 60 days in advance at 7 o'clock Eastern. And as a Disney planner, I do all that for them. And then once you get to the parks and use up those 3 Fast Passes, you can use My Disney Experience app, or you can go to a kiosk and you can get one more Fast Pass, use it, get one more, and so on and so on. But those 3 advanced Fast Passes are what is gotten at 60 days in advance.
Very cool.
Yeah, and that's like he said, a huge advantage. And everyone,
Right.
if you're hearing anything that you want more information on, get in touch with Brian. His email is brian@tenholdertravel.com, and then phone number 704-287-8937.
Yes. He is a rock star. I think between what you book, Janet, and what Brian books, we do a ton of business with Disney. That's got to be one of our biggest vendors.
Yeah. Brian does way more than me.
That's why he's on the show. Brian is an absolute rock star at this stuff. And, we personally don't know anybody that knows more about Disney than Brian. So this is awesome that we have him on the show. So I'm just curious, and I want to get both answers from both of you guys here. So I feel like I'm kind of playing that host role, just kind of spitting questions, fireball.
Yeah, you usually do.
I'm pretty good at this. I'm pretty solid. And I'll give my perspective on this too.
Okay.
And we'll start with you, Janet. What's your favorite ride?
My favorite ride?
Your favorite ride?
I don't know. I really like the safari just because I love animals, but I know that wouldn't be everybody's first choice, but that and Space Mountain's awesome. So,
yeah, Space Mountain's pretty cool. What about you, Brian? What's your favorite ride?
Well, it's funny. I really like Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios.
yeah.
That's just, I don't know, it's such a cool, fun roller coaster ride. I also like Peter Pan. I think that's a really fun ride. I love
cool.
watching my kids ride it and just watch them. But I think as of December 5th, I might have a new favorite ride when Rise of the Resistance comes out in Disney World in Florida.
Ooh.
So I'm waiting for that, and I think that's going to be my new favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
And that when did that portion of Disney open up? Is it open now? The new is it the Star Wars portion, right?
Yeah, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, so Galaxy's Edge opened up in August in Florida, and with one of the rides, and the other ride's going to open up on December 5th in Florida, and it's going to open up later in early 2020 in California.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Galaxy's Edge, because you know a lot more about that than I do.
Yeah, so Galaxy's Edge is the new Star Wars land in California, at Disneyland in California, at California Adventure, and it's also at Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World in Florida. And it's an immersive land of Star Wars with people, creatures, stormtroopers walking around. You are in Batuu, you're in Star Wars, and you're walking around, and it looks amazing. I have yet to get there, but my plan is to get there either later this fall or early in the spring. But everything I've heard and seen, it is amazing.
What about, aren't there some experiences that you can do, like the lightsaber?
Right. So they have a couple different experiences that you can sign up for in advance. They have Oga's Cantina, which is a bar, and it's very similar to the bar in the first Star Wars movie with creatures everywhere and things like that. Then you can also do a lightsaber build where you build your own lightsaber. And then they also have a droid build where you can build your own droid as well.
Very
oh my
cool.
gosh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, and isn't there something like with milk?
Oh yeah, the blue milk.
Yeah.
Blue milk?
Right.
What is that?
They serve that at Oga's Cantina, which is again from the first Star Wars movie when Luke Skywalker was drinking blue milk at the dinner table with his Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Oh my god, what animal gives you blue milk?
I don't know the answer to that. A blue cow?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That would be interesting.
Blue milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next level protein shake.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that sounds awesome. I have to be honest, I've never even seen a Star Wars movie.
We've tried to watch like a couple of them, but like I just never. You almost have to and Brian can probably correct me, but you almost have to start back from the beginning and then watch them all as they progress, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Agreed.
So
and that's what my kids have done. You know, even my kids, they love watching the Star Wars movie, and I made sure they watched them in order too.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool. I saw one on a plane. I think it was one of the newer ones I started watching. It was either on a plane or something. I was somewhere where I was kind of forced to just have something to do, and I saw Star Wars. I was like, I watched one of them when I was a kid. I think the one that came out the early 2000s I saw. And then I saw this other one on the plane, and I really started getting into that version. And I think it was probably the most recent version because it looked I think the graphics have always been great and above and beyond the time that the movie's released. But this one was unbelievable. So I bet this was one of the newer ones. I can't remember.
Well, it's going to be exciting when the last film comes out in December. So we're all waiting for that.
This is the final one?
Yeah.
Forever?
Final one in the series. Well, probably not forever, but the final one in this trilogy.
Very cool.
Interesting.
See, I didn't even know that.
So
that's Hollywood Studios, and let's not forget the other parks where you've got Animal Kingdom with the new Avatar Land, Pandora. It's absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. The rides there are just wonderful. Flight of Passage is such a cool experience, and then the Na'vi River Journey is fantastic too. But that Flight of Passage is pretty awesome.
What do you think? Speaking of all these rides, what do you think a great age is for kids? Like if you're a family and you've got a couple different kids, how old do you want your youngest kid to be to really, do you think, appreciate and understand and enjoy the experience?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of families that I work with, they like to take advantage of the children being guests of Mickey, because if you're 2 years or younger, you can be a guest of Mickey, which you don't have to have a park ticket. You're free to go in. So I have families that like to take advantage of that when they're taking older siblings. But I think the magic really begins at age 3 and 4, when they're starting to watch the Disney Channel, and those cartoons, and they start seeing Mickey Mouse and playing with different toys and dolls and things. And I hope the magic doesn't go away. I mean, I'm in my 40s and I still love the magic of Disney. It's really special, and it's a part of our family, and I hope it's a part of our family for years to come.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. And I mean, and Janet and I, we don't have children yet, and we love it too. Just going back as an adult, and we haven't been since we were a kid. And I was thinking, I was kind of like, yeah, we're just going, and we go to kind of get up to speed on everything, for our clients and do what good travel agents do.
I need to go again.
We need to go again because so much fun. It's so much, even without kids, I had so much fun. And my favorite ride, by the way.
Oh, yeah. What was yours?
You're going to think like I drink too much, but my favorite ride was the boat ride in Epcot that drops you off in the world.
Oh, well, you can take it across.
Take the boat ride across.
Yeah.
You have to walk.
Oh, okay.
Drops you right off, and then you can have a plethora of countries to indulge in.
That's your favorite ride.
You know what else is magical? Is just riding the monorail is super fun.
Oh, that is. Yeah, I agree.
I do like that, and that was probably my most, I don't know why, but it's either my most fondest or, stuck out to be the most as a kid was riding that monorail. And I just remember, because I grew up, I was actually born in Orlando, and then grew up until about middle school in a city called Port St. Lucie, Florida. And I remember almost every year we would go to Disney just because it was right there. It was so convenient. And I don't know why. I thought at the time the monorail was like the coolest thing. And I was probably like 5 years old. And, you don't see things like that very often. I'd seen planes and trains and cars. But then you go to Disney, you're like, oh my God, the monorail takes you everywhere. Yeah. It's like a floating train, and it was so cool. I mean, it's so cool to me.
Yeah, it's really, really, really neat.
Yep. And then big tip for families, I would say, is try to stay on the monorail, right? Because it's easier for them to get around. And, if you're having strollers and shuffling all the kids, I think if you can stay on the monorail, then that's probably a really good tip.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of families I work with, they love to stay on the monorail because they want to get back for a nap, and it's so easy to just jump back from Epcot or Magic Kingdom back to those 3 properties that are on the monorail. Take a nap and then go back out and later in the afternoon or evening.
Right.
Very cool. What property? Isn't there a Disney property that the monorail goes through, but then there's also the
monorail goes through the Contemporary.
That's correct, right. The monorail goes through the Contemporary, and it also stops at the Polynesian and also the Grand Floridian.
Yep.
Nice.
Yes, so if you can stay at any 3 of those, it'll make, I think, a lot easier back and forth to Magic Kingdom and Epcot.
Excellent. Right. And I'll ask question for both of you. What's the best off-property value? Because you do have a lot of families on a budget traveling in. What would you say staying off property? What's the best value there? I'll start with
Brian.
Start with Brian. Okay.
Well, when you say off property, do you mean? I think you mean staying on Disney property, but not on the monorail. I think is what you're trying to say. I'm not sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the best value not being on the monorail is either at Old Key West, because it's the first DVC property, which is Disney Vacation Club, and you can get a 1-bedroom villa or 2-bedroom villa there at a really good price. And I also like the Art of Animation. I think their family suites are absolutely fantastic for a family of 5 or a family of 4. There's just a lot of space in that room. It's considered a value resort, but the resort is it's beautiful. It's superb. The Nemo pool is fun. It's got a great splash area for little kids. I just like those properties a lot. And I also like Beach Club has my favorite pool. I think Beach Club has the best pool out of all the Disney properties. So that's
good to know.
My insider there.
Very good to know.
Know before you go travel tips right there.
Yeah. And Brian, what would you say about the special events? So like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and the Christmas party. You think they're worth it?
I do. I mean, it's a little bit of a sticker shock when you're looking at the prices of Christmas party and Halloween party. But when you go one time, you're just going to say, oh my gosh, that was amazing. The special fireworks, which is different from any other time. The special parades, which is different from any other time. The shows are different. And then all the food that they have there during these parties, the food and the drinks, they have like hot cocoa and spiced cider, and then all these snacks all around the parks, all around, Magic Kingdom for a Christmas party and Halloween party. And then all the character meet and greets. They have lots of special character meet and greets that they don't have otherwise at the parks. So taking advantage of those holiday parties it is so fun. It is just super, super duper. I would totally recommend taking advantage of those parties.
That is great. And do you book that early? How would you weave that into the booking process? If someone were to call you, is that something you would recommend they book through you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when families book their Disney packages through me, and then if they want to also purchase those separate tickets, then I can do that for them as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what would be the biggest value? Because we get asked this just in general booking with a travel agent. What's the biggest value in why book with a Disney expert like yourself?
Yeah, I mean, booking through a Disney travel planner like myself, I take care of all the details. I've got all the information. I don't charge any fees. I don't charge anything for my planning services. If you have questions about restaurants and dining reservations, I'm here to answer all those questions. I also do clients' fast passes for them at 60 days in advance at 7 a.m. Eastern. And we always talk before that and make sure we know which park they're going to go into each day. And then set up a plan, say, which fast passes would you like? And here's my recommendations based upon your children's ages. And then get the fast passes for them. So I kind of put it all together for them so that when the day comes to arrive at Disney, everything's already set. The dining reservations are set, the fast passes are set, and all they do is check in and enjoy their time at Disney. So, it's free. I don't charge anything for my planning services. The price you pay me to do a Disney vacation is the exact same price you pay at Disney.com. It's just
and
with
you
my
get
knowledge
all the
and my
advice and
expertise.
expertise, yes, of Brian, because he knows everything
Exactly.
about Disney. Because you've definitely been way more than I have, and probably most people I know. So,
yeah, that is awesome. And by the way, for everyone looking to get in contact with Brian, we're going to put his information in the show notes, so people can click the show on their iPhone or wherever they're listening to this, and it'll have the show notes there. But also, we'll go ahead and run it by you one more time. Go ahead and relay Brian's contact information.
Yep, so it's Brian at tenholdertravel.com, and his phone number is 704-287-8937. You can get all your Disney knowledge and expertise at no extra cost from him.
And check me out on Facebook. It's Facebook, and I've got, just look up 10 Holder Travel on Facebook, like the number 10 Holder Travel.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. Brian, is there any other best kept secret or tip or anything we haven't covered that you want to share with the audience?
Oh, I just, if you're thinking about a Disney vacation for 2020 or further out, give me a call. I'm happy to answer questions. Also, take advantage of the specials. Disney's constantly offering specials, and many times when a family books really far in advance, there's not a special, but then a special may come out later. And if their whatever package they booked originally falls into the special and the availability is there, then I can change their package to the lower pricing. So, take advantage of booking early because things do fill up.
Yes.
That is so true. And I think that is, I'm glad you said that, because I think that's one of the best travel tips in general is make sure you book early. I think so many people wait. They just anticipate that the price is going to magically drop all of a sudden. But, I mean, that is so unlikely to happen. Booking early is always the best way to go. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, I think we'll call it a show. I mean, is there anything else you want to share?
No, I think this has been great.
I mean,
Brian has shared way more than I would notes.
I got one more thing. We were talking about Epcot and the different countries back there.
Yeah.
The rumor is that a new country is going to be appearing in 2022, and that country is Brazil.
Ooh.
So if that's true, I am really looking forward to that. I've been to Brazil, and I think it's one of the best places I've ever traveled to. I just love that country. And I think if they do go to Epcot, I think they'll have a lot to offer, and I think it'll be a really nice pavilion back there.
That is so
Very cool.
Where
Yeah.
I mean, Brian's got the inside track on everything Disney. I mean, I'm so glad he's our partner. I mean, this is so. Hey, how do you actually? Don't tell us your sources. I was about to ask you how you heard about that. Keep the sources a secret, but
Yeah,
that is
so if
very
you,
cool.
if you want those insider tips, call Brian.
Yeah, right.
Excellent. Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to do a show like this with Brian once a quarter. I'd
Yeah.
like to get him back on the show once
It's
a
on
quarter.
Disney. Yeah.
And
Sure.
we'll do, I think the next one we should cover Disney cruises.
Yes.
I mean, I think there's a big market for that. I think that's you're going to get a very good experience with Disney, but also a slight Caribbean twist on it, which I think is very cool.
Or wherever the itinerary may be.
Very
So,
true.
Yeah. Fantastic.
All right, Brian. Well, thank you so much. We're going to call it a show there. For those of you that want to hear more from Brian, we've got his information here. We're also going to drop it down into the show notes. And also, thank you to all of our fans and listeners out there listening to us weekly, daily for your. I call it a vacation for your earbuds.
Yeah.
We just get your headphones in. We're trying to put you in the mood, and
This is really making me want to go to Disney. So
I'm dead serious. Let's
Yeah.
go.
yeah.
Let's book. I know you. I got to watch out for you because you will book a trip in a heartbeat, and you just say, "Hey."
I know
here-
if I don't have anything else planned, I get like really antsy. Like, oh my god, I got to get something on the books here. Something's wrong.
Yeah, and it's good for the business because we want to share firsthand experiences and clearly, I mean, Brian bringing so much value on the Disney side, it's incredible. But anyways, we love you guys. We'll call it a show. Have a great week, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.